in the beginning of improvisation, on any level, it's freakish because people always say, I don't know what to play. I don't know how to start. I don't know what notes to choose. What kind of rhythms do I play? Should I play loud? Should I alternate pick? What kind of stuff should I do with my hands? Do I bar notes? Do I slur, alternate pick things? Good Lord! Yeah, there's all kinds of questions that are raised when it comes to improvising for the first time. So let's take something really simple, a D chord, and I'm just going to vamp on a D chord. Whoops. Something like that, right? Mostly a D. I had a couple little moments of G in there. So I've heard approaches taken before from other educators where they tell their students just to find a note, find one note that they think sounds good. There's a lot of choices, guitar, piano, on horn, whatever. That approach makes sense because you're not taking a theoretical approach to it. You're just playing. You're playing just for the sake of playing. You just create without any conceptions of what's right and wrong, you know what I mean? It's even more baffling to most beginning players, because like, I need to know what notes to play. What are the notes that are in the key? That question comes up too. We'll get to that in a second. Let's look at what the notes are in the D chord. All right, there's a D, an F sharp, and an A. So if you're going to take the single note approach to improvising, pick a note that's in the chord and start making up rhythms. Take an approach where you're playing pianissimo as opposed to forte, or mezzo piano as opposed to standard forte. As far as your attack, or not your attack, but your dynamic, like how loud or how soft you're playing. No more talking. Let's do this. Take this F sharp and do what you want with it. All right, I can't hear you. I don't know what you're going to do. I'm going to play a D chord for 4 bars at this tempo. 2, 3, 4. And come in whenever you want to, but see what that F sharp sounds like against my D chord. I guarantee you're going to like it. Choose whether you're going to let the note ring for a whole note, something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or maybe you'll do something like this with the F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dotted quarter, eighth, rest, quarter. Maybe you'll play eighth notes. Here we go with the D chord. Again, come in whenever you're ready, whenever you feel like it's appropriate, and just play just that one note and see what you can come up with. 2, 3, 4. All right. Loop that section a few times. Or you can, I'm sure there'll be a jam track for this. Is there a jam track for this, anybody? Anyone? I'm sure there'll be one. As you play that, again, try to keep in mind a couple of things. Your intensity with the pick, your vibrato, perhaps, if you're vibrating the note, your dynamic, how loud or how soft are you playing? Maybe are you glissandoing or sliding into the note from either direction? There's a lot you can do with just one pitch. From here it just gets more beautiful, and you start adding colors from your tonal palette, instead of just the F sharp now, let's add a D from the D chord. We're not even talking about scales or arpeggios yet, we're just talking about notes that exist in this chord, you know, which is an awesome approach. Alrighty then. So, take just D and F sharp now. Let's do the same thing. A couple of examples maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. When you're only dealing with a couple of notes, when you're improvising over a chord, your improvising takes a much more rhythmic approach. That's where the improv happens, whether you're going to play whole notes, dotted eighths, 16th notes, halves, quarters, you know, where the rests are going to go, if there are going to be any rests, or if you're going to just... Man, there's all kinds of possibilities. So let's take those two notes now, guys. Let's do F sharp, people, not guys, people. Not gender specific. Same chord, same kind of groove, you know, slow 4/4. Use just D and F sharp. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? Very nice. Very nice. Again, I can't hear what you're doing, but I'm sure it's beautiful. All right? You're in tune. Are we in tune? Haha. All right. Let's add another note. Let's do D, F sharp, and A this time. We'll have access to the entire arpeggio. The entire arpeggio and chord in that sense are used in a synonymous way. You know, it means the same thing. An arpeggio, again, you play the notes one at a time. Boom, boom, boom. In a chord, they sound all at the same time, but it's all the same pitches. Sorry about that. We must clarify periodically. Yes, we know. Yes. Yes, we must. All right. Same progression, cats, okay? Same progression. Utilize the A. Then we go to F sharp. Here we are. Here we go. Ready, everyone? Everyone play at once, because we can't hear each other, so it's going to be fine, just fine. 2, 3, 4. Just 3 notes. 3 notes can give you so much. So much. I know I've already spoken about this at length in this very lesson. Take your time and just use one note when you're super comfortable, perhaps even bored from using just one note and you're varying your rhythm. Add in one more note over the chord that you're playing. Add the 3rd note and make sure you're using root 3rd and 5th. And this is just for a 1-chord progression, you know. So most songs that you hear, like, you know, on the radio, most pop records or blues records. I'm not trying to minimize any of the artistic efforts of any creator of music. But a lot of times, a great message and a great melody can be delivered over 3 chords, you know? So then you start multiplying out the possibilities. You got 3 chords with 3 notes in each chord. There's 9 pitches that you can play in your melody without even stepping into a scale or any chromatic notes or whatever else. There's a lot you can do with just 3 tones. And if you take that approach to improvising, first off, everything that you play in the beginning will sound like gold because the harmony and the melody are both being drawn from the same place. You know, if you had a D chord, D, F sharp, and A, and you go to a G minor chord, which is G, B flat, and D, if you don't step outside of D, F sharp, and A when the D chord is happening, or if you don't step outside of G, B flat, and D when the G minor chord is happening, it's going to be beautiful. You know, and then from there we can start to color the melody, or you can start to color the melody differently by adding in notes from the scale, passing tones, chromatically altered tones. We'll talk about all these things as time goes on, but practice hard, you guys. I'm sure what you just played sounded pretty spectacular. Play the note softer, like a lesser dynamic. I shouldn't say lesser, but a softer dynamic, like pianissimo, as opposed to fortissimo. As opposed to can I say that again?